I'm curious, Aaron, training leaders, teaching others, empowering others, is that something that just came to you naturally, or is it something that you had to learn over time?
Yeah, I've been somewhat of a teacher my entire career because we've owned 14 businesses and I've had hundreds of people work for me. And so there's an innate ability I guess I have in order to teach and instruct. And five people that have worked for me, I helped them go in competition against me because I wanted better for them. I wanted them to excel. I wanted them to improve their life. And so it comes with an attitude of being a servant leader, somebody that's really interested. And that's a real attraction to a lot of people. When I started teaching other people how to start masterminds, people came to me that were entrepreneurs and they said, "You're crazy. You're going in competition with yourself." And I said, "That's just not true because I have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset." And as a result of me teaching, it's it's endeared people to me. And now we're growing Iron Sharpens Iron Mastermind because I'm teaching and sharing the secret sauce and the systems and the processes. And you said something a while ago I think is so true. We're not lacking for dreams. We fail to the level of our systems. And
Yeah.
if we don't have systems and processes in place, we can never duplicate anything. We have a number of virtual assistants. We have 4 or 5 in the Philippines now, and we can bring on new virtual assistants, and we have the systems and processes in place in written form and MP4 video format that we can train step by step. And so they watch the videos, they do the systems and processes that we've written out, and I don't have to train. And so you train once, and if you do it properly through video and through written systems and processes, it's the same way with masterminding. We have in the grind, as we've gone, created systems and processes. We know what works and doesn't work. And so that is the only way that you can replicate what you do is if you have something that you've created along the way. There's no way to go back hardly and recover that because you can't remember every step of the way. So you've got to take the time to develop these systems as you go.
Yeah, and I think constantly tweaking. I know that I'm always tweaking my systems to just consistently improve. And to be frank, I love the idea of writing down a list of your systems, creating videos to walk new people through, because I mean that's really what my inspiration was. I started getting many questions about, hey, Mark, how are you executing on your podcast or your YouTube? I said, I can't keep answering these questions one on one. I'm just going to start
Yeah.
recording and trying to find different ways to scale.
Mark, I'll share one other thing that I think might be helpful to your audience. It's called the 30X rule. And what that is most people say, well, that only takes me an hour a day. I'll just do it myself. And I'll just tell you through success, I've learned through success that we have to delegate. You have to be a master at delegation. But most people say, hey, they won't do it as good as I do it. And it'll take me time to train people. And it only takes me an hour a week or an hour a day to do this particular task. That if you took the time to train somebody, you could officially get it off of your plate. So I only want to do what I can do. And so the 30X rule is if something takes you an hour to perform weekly, be willing to spend 30 hours training someone else to do it. Now, financially, if I were to tell you I could get you an 1100% ROI on your money, you would be all in.
Sign me up.
Well, that's exactly what I just did with you allocating 30 hours to train somebody to get an hour off your plate. If you do the math, it's an 1100% return on your time,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And so time is what we can't recreate. We only have a limited amount of it, and we need to use it the most effective way that we can. And that's through training others to do what only you've been doing that you can delegate.
Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful stuff, Aaron. Thank you for sharing. Because if when you start learning how to teach people efficiently, it's amazing what happens. I read the 4 Hour Work Week several years ago, and it just blew my mind what Tim Ferriss was able to execute on. And it's those concepts. It's working with people. I've actually had John Jonas on the show, who runs online jobs.ph, because it's so powerful when you can start teaching other people and start offloading and delegating. I absolutely love that. Aaron, I want to talk a little bit to all the people who are starting to kind of get the vibe. They're starting to understand, okay, this mastermind thing might be for real. But how do you actually get the right people to join your mastermind? Because you're only as good as the people that are in your group, right? How do you get the right people in?
Well, that's a marketing strategy, and we're able to do that very effectively because we have a system and a process by which we market. And so, very succinctly, very methodically, we have a regimented plan about how we go about that. And then there's an application process. People make application to join our mastermind. Just because you want to be in doesn't mean you're going to get in, because we have a specific avatar that we're looking for. We're looking for givers, not takers. We're looking for people that have similar core values, people that have mission statements, people are interested in taking their life to the next level. We do a come as you will be in 2023 exercise to where we really format your personal, your professional, your financial, your spiritual, your relational goals. And then we implement a strategy by which you can accomplish that. Brian Moran's got a very good productivity tool called the 12-week year. And we implement that strategy into accomplishing your goals and dreams. Because if you don't have a strategy to get there and you don't have daily tasks that you do, it's really not a goal, it's just a dream. And
Mm,
so we help people really accomplish what they want. I'm also looking for people that are willing to be vulnerable and transparent and authentic, and somebody that's really wanting to be real. And people come and they pay their money. They don't show up half the time. They don't read the books, the accountability tool. They don't do the 12-week year. We ask them to leave. And I had a guy recently tell me, "Hey, I'm paying my dues." And I said, it's not about the money. I love to make the money. And I never say that I don't want to make the money. But in here, it's about adding value to the other people, because when you don't show up, you're cheating the people that's paying money to hear what you have to say.
mm,
So we really go through a very stringent process to find out if you're iron sharpens iron material. And if you're not, if you're just a taker, you want to suck the group for all it's worth and you want to get for only yourself, you're not for us. Because if you have a giving mindset, the natural reciprocity is everybody wants to give you back. And when you have 200 people almost like we do, and you've got everybody wanting to serve, wanting to give, wanting to share the secret sauce, wanting to help, it really takes the group to another level. When you've got people giving you resources and introductions to other thought leaders, and you're networking and you're holding each other accountable, and we're not for the faint at heart. If your feelings get hurt easy or you carry your feelings on your shoulder, you're not for our group. If you're wanting to talk about your golf match and the biggest fish you caught and the biggest deer you killed, you're not for us. We're about moving the needle personally, professionally, and spiritually, all encompassing. And Mark, the reason is because I was very condescending and arrogant when I was in my 20s and 30s. And it was just about making more money. I retired for the first time at 27 years old. I sold out to a Fortune 500, started a company when I was 18. And I thought, hey, man, I'm the golden child. Like, I was able to retire at 27. And I say that with a great amount of humility. God just really blessed our company and we grew it. But then I discovered that it wasn't just about me, it was about other people. And I came home with a pocket full of money to a house full of strangers. And I
mm,
figured out, hey, I'm going to die a rich old guy alone. And I didn't
mm.
want to sacrifice my family on the altar of money. And so I really reprioritized my priorities, and I really figured out what was important in life. And the more I've been able to focus on the real thing, the real priorities in my life, we've been twice as successful financially and a lot more successful significantly. And we just help people really align their values and really help point them in a good direction, because life is an adventure. I don't want to live average. That's just as close to the bottom as it is the top. I want to live an amazing life. I want to see things and go places and give money and help people. I don't want to live an average life. And you can't live an average life sitting on the couch playing video games. I want to help people maximize their potential.
I love that, and a spoiled apple ruins the whole bunch, right? So
Yeah.
turning away the wrong people is I think very, very challenging to do, but it's been a common thread throughout our conversation here, Aaron. Hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want to take on this particular client, so I'm going to make an astronomical amount. I don't need we can't bring in a particular mastermind member because it's not a good fit. And you're turning away money, which is really, I think, really, really hard. But as someone
Well,
with as much
y-
experience as you, I
yeah,
appreciate
it's
that.
it's it's hard, but the truth is I've lived long enough and had enough businesses to know all I'm doing is delaying the inevitable, and that's the
Mm,
problem that I'm going to have to deal with later. So I'm taking a short-term gain for a long-term problem.
Mm.
and that doesn't fare well in the end. So the more you can be proactive up front and vet the people that you want to work with and be sure that they coincide with your values and the way you see life will give you a pleasurable experience. The other way is a real headache.
Incredibly, incredibly wise. And it, that's one of the reasons I love podcasting is like, because I can bring on experts, I can bring on just amazing people like yourself, Aaron, who could just drop knowledge bombs. If I can bring someone on that's got 40 years of experience, 14 businesses, is running a very big mastermind program like the Iron Sharpens Iron. I mean, it just makes a huge difference.